Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having an amazing day. Today, we're diving into one of the greatest mysteries of the modern world. A mystery involving billions of dollars, a technology that challenged banks and governments, and a person who may be one of the richest individuals in human history. Yet nobody knows who they are. No verified photograph, no confirmed identity, no public appearance, no interview. Nothing, just a name, Satoshi Nakamoto, the mysterious creator of Bitcoin. And what's even stranger is that after creating a technology that changed the world forever, Satoshi disappeared, completely. So who was Satoshi Nakamoto? Was he a genius programmer? A group of cryptographers? A government experiment? Or someone hiding in plain sight? Stay with me until the end because this story gets stranger with every chapter. Let's begin. To understand Bitcoin, we first need to travel back to 2008. The world was in chaos. Banks were collapsing. Financial institutions that people trusted for decades were suddenly failing. Families lost their homes. Millions lost their jobs. Markets crashed. Fear was everywhere. People were asking a simple question: can we really trust the financial system? At that exact moment, while the world was focused on economic disaster, someone was quietly working on a solution. Not in a government office, not inside a giant bank, not at a famous university, somewhere behind a computer screen, unknown, invisible, anonymous. And that person was using the name Satoshi Nakamoto. On October 31st, 2008, a message appeared online. Most people ignored it. It didn't make headlines. No television station reported it. No newspaper featured it on the front page. It was simply posted to a small cryptography mailing list. Attached to the message was a 9-page document. The title was Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. At first glance, it looked technical, complicated, even boring. But hidden inside those pages was an idea that would eventually change the financial world. The concept was simple. What if money could move directly between people, without banks, without governments, without payment companies, without any middleman at all? For centuries, money had always required someone in the middle: a bank, a government, a financial institution. Bitcoin proposed something different, a system where trust came from mathematics instead of institutions. It sounded impossible. Many people thought it would never work. But Satoshi believed otherwise. A few months later, January 3rd, 2009, Bitcoin officially came to life. Satoshi mined the very first Bitcoin block, known today as the Genesis block. But there was something unusual hidden inside it. A message, a newspaper headline. The Times 03/Jan/2009 Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. Why place that message there? Many people believe it was intentional. A statement, a criticism of the banking system, a reminder of why Bitcoin existed. Whatever the reason, Bitcoin had officially been born. At that moment, nobody could have imagined what would happen next. Not investors, not governments, not even the small community following the project. Because the tiny experiment launched that day would eventually become a global phenomenon. As Bitcoin grew, people naturally became curious. Who exactly was Satoshi Nakamoto? Developers communicated with him through emails, forum messages, technical discussions, and something stood out immediately. Satoshi was brilliant, not just smart, exceptionally brilliant. His understanding of economics was impressive. His knowledge of cryptography was world-class. His software engineering skills were extraordinary. Normally, people specialize in one area. Satoshi seemed to master all three. And yet, nobody knew anything about him. No photos, no video calls, no personal stories, no confirmed location, nothing. It was as if Satoshi existed only through text, like a ghost communicating through the internet. Naturally, internet detectives started searching for clues. Every email, every forum post, every sentence, every word. People analyzed everything. Some noticed Satoshi consistently used British spelling. Words like favor, color, organize. Was he British? Maybe, maybe not. Others examined posting times. Certain patterns suggested he might have lived in North America. Others disagreed. Some believed he was in Europe. Others thought Asia. Every clue seemed to create more questions than answers. The deeper people looked, the less they understood. In the beginning, Bitcoin was practically worthless. People weren't buying luxury cars with Bitcoin. They weren't becoming millionaires. Most people didn't even know it existed. Bitcoin was a niche experiment discussed by programmers and cryptography enthusiasts. Sometimes users would mine hundreds of Bitcoins on ordinary computers. Imagine that. Hundreds of Bitcoins. Today that sounds unbelievable. But back then, nobody cared. The project wasn't about getting rich. It was about proving an idea. Could decentralized money actually work? Satoshi worked tirelessly alongside early developers, fixing bugs, answering questions, improving the system, building the foundation, and then something unexpected happened. People started believing. Slowly, very slowly, Bitcoin gained attention. More developers joined. More users arrived. Communities formed. Discussions expanded. The experiment was becoming something bigger. And the bigger Bitcoin became, the more people wanted to know the identity of its creator. But Satoshi never seemed interested in fame. He never promoted himself, never sought attention, never demanded recognition. In today's world, where people chase followers and headlines, that behavior seems almost impossible to understand. Yet Satoshi remained focused on one thing, the technology, nothing else. Then came 2011, and something happened that nobody expected. Satoshi started communicating less. Emails became rare. Forum posts slowed down. The creator of Bitcoin seemed to be stepping away. Then came one of the final messages. A simple statement. I've moved on to other things. And just like that, the person behind Bitcoin began to disappear. No dramatic farewell. No emotional goodbye. No explanation. No announcement to the world. Just silence. The emails stopped. The forum posts stopped. The updates stopped. And the creator of Bitcoin vanished. Gone. No verified message has ever surfaced since. Think about that for a moment. Someone creates one of the most influential technologies of the century, then simply walks away. It's almost impossible to imagine. Yet that's exactly what happened. As Bitcoin's value increased, a shocking discovery emerged. Researchers estimated that Satoshi had mined roughly 1 million Bitcoins during the early days. 1 million. Let that sink in. 1 million Bitcoins. Depending on Bitcoin's market value, that fortune could be worth tens of billions of dollars. Possibly more, making Satoshi one of the wealthiest people alive. Yet those coins remained untouched. Year after year, market crash after market crash, bull run after bull run. The wallets believed to belong to Satoshi stayed silent. Imagine having access to unimaginable wealth and never spending it. Why? Nobody knows. Some believe Satoshi intentionally left the coins untouched to avoid influencing the market. Others think moving the coins could reveal clues about the creator's identity. And some believe Satoshi may no longer be alive. Again, the mystery only deepens. Over the years, countless people have tried to solve the puzzle. Journalists, researchers, cryptographers, internet detectives. Everyone searching for the answer to the same question. Who is Satoshi Nakamoto? One of the first major suspects was Hal Finney, a brilliant cryptographer and one of Bitcoin's earliest supporters. In fact, Hal received the first Bitcoin transaction ever sent. Many people believed the evidence pointed toward him. He had the technical expertise. He was involved from the beginning, and he understood the ideas behind Bitcoin better than almost anyone else. But Hal repeatedly denied being Satoshi. Before his death, he even shared information intended to show that he had simply been one of Bitcoin's earliest contributors. Still, speculation continued. Another frequently mentioned candidate was Nick Szabo, a respected computer scientist and cryptographer. Years before Bitcoin appeared, Nick had proposed a digital currency concept known as BitGold. The similarities between BitGold and Bitcoin were difficult to ignore. Many researchers noticed that the ideas seemed closely connected. Some even analyzed writing styles and found similarities between Nick's work and Satoshi's messages. Yet Nick Szabo also denied being Satoshi Nakamoto, and once again the mystery remained unsolved. Then came one of the most famous moments in the entire story. A media report identified a man named Dorian Nakamoto as Bitcoin's creator. Almost overnight, the story spread across the world. News organizations rushed to cover it. Reporters gathered outside his home. For a brief moment, people believed the mystery had finally been solved. But Dorian strongly denied any involvement with Bitcoin. As more information emerged, the theory quickly fell apart. The search continued. Years later, another name would dominate headlines around the world: Craig Wright. Unlike previous suspects, Craig didn't simply become the subject of speculation. He publicly claimed to be Satoshi Nakamoto. If true, one of the greatest mysteries in technology history would finally be solved. The announcement generated enormous attention. Supporters believed him. Critics challenged him. Journalists investigated him. Experts analyzed his claims. The cryptocurrency community demanded proof. After all, if someone truly was Satoshi Nakamoto, there was a simple way to demonstrate it. The real Satoshi would have access to cryptographic keys connected to Bitcoin's earliest wallets. That proof never arrived in a way that convinced most of the Bitcoin community. Years of controversy followed. Debates, arguments, legal battles, public statements. Yet despite all the attention, no clear consensus emerged. And so the mystery survived once again. But what if everyone had been asking the wrong question? What if Satoshi Nakamoto wasn't one person at all? This theory has fascinated researchers for years. Think about everything required to create Bitcoin: advanced cryptography, economics, computer networking, software engineering, game theory, cybersecurity, monetary systems. Each of these fields is complex enough to occupy an entire career. Yet Satoshi appeared to possess expertise in all of them. Some people believe that level of knowledge points to a team rather than an individual. A small group of experts working together, sharing ideas, reviewing code, perfecting the design, and operating under a single name: Satoshi Nakamoto. If true, it would explain many things. It would explain the extraordinary breadth of knowledge. It would explain the professional quality of the project. And it might explain how anonymity was maintained so effectively. After all, if several people were protecting the same secret, revealing the truth would become much more difficult. Of course, there is no definitive evidence for this theory either. Just another possibility, another piece of the puzzle, another unanswered question. And that's what makes this mystery so powerful. Every clue creates new questions. Every theory leaves gaps. Every suspect raises doubts. More than a decade after Bitcoin's creation, nobody has been able to provide undeniable proof of Satoshi's identity. Then something remarkable happened. Bitcoin continued to grow, not because its creator was leading it, not because a powerful corporation controlled it, and not because governments promoted it. Bitcoin grew without Satoshi. The network expanded. Developers improved the software. Businesses adopted it. Investors discovered it. Entire industries emerged around it. And all of this happened while the creator remained silent. Many people believe that Satoshi's disappearance was actually one of the smartest decisions ever made. Think about it. If Satoshi had remained active, people might constantly look to him for guidance. Investors would react to every statement. Governments would pressure him. The media would follow his every move. Bitcoin might become dependent on a single individual. Instead, something very different happened. Bitcoin learned to survive on its own. No king, no CEO, no founder making final decisions. Just a decentralized network operating according to rules that anyone could verify. In a strange way, Satoshi's disappearance may have helped Bitcoin become exactly what it was intended to be: independent, neutral, and bigger than any one person. As the years passed, Bitcoin transformed from a niche experiment into a global phenomenon. Governments began studying it. Universities taught courses about it. Financial institutions discussed it. Investors watched it. Entrepreneurs built businesses around it. Millions of people learned its name. Yet even as Bitcoin became one of the most talked about technologies in the world, the mystery at its center remained untouched. Who created it? Who walked away from it? And why? Today, we live in a world where privacy is becoming increasingly rare. Smartphones track our locations. Social media records our activities. Surveillance cameras watch public spaces. Every click, search, and interaction leaves a digital footprint. In an age where information travels instantly across the globe, remaining anonymous has become incredibly difficult. And yet, somehow, the creator of Bitcoin managed to disappear. Not for a few weeks, not for a few months, but for years. More than a decade has passed, and the mystery remains unsolved. For many people, that's almost as impressive as creating Bitcoin itself. Imagine watching your invention grow into a global phenomenon. Imagine seeing headlines about it every day. Imagine knowing that millions of people are using a system you created. And then imagine never stepping forward to claim credit. Never giving interviews, never appearing at conferences, never writing a book about your success, never revealing yourself to the world. Most people would find that impossible. Most people want recognition. Most people want their achievements acknowledged. Most people want to leave their mark on history. But Satoshi Nakamoto chose a different path. Or perhaps circumstances forced that path. The truth is, we simply don't know. And that's what keeps the mystery alive. Maybe Satoshi is alive today, quietly watching from somewhere in the world. Maybe he occasionally reads news articles about Bitcoin and smiles at how far it has come. Maybe he never expected it to become so successful. Or maybe the identity behind the name has been lost forever. Some believe Satoshi passed away years ago. Others believe he intentionally destroyed all traces of his identity. Some think the answer is hidden in old emails, forgotten computers, or private conversations that have never been revealed. And there are those who believe the world has already heard Satoshi's name but failed to recognize it. Every theory sounds possible, yet none of them provide certainty. That's why the mystery continues to fascinate people around the world. Because human beings are naturally curious. We want answers. We want closure. We want stories to have endings. But some stories refuse to end. Some questions remain unanswered no matter how much time passes. The identity of Satoshi Nakamoto has become one of those questions. And perhaps that's exactly what makes this story so unforgettable. Because Bitcoin is more than a technology. It's more than software. It's more than digital money. It's a global movement that changed the way people think about finance, ownership, and trust. And standing at the very beginning of that movement is a shadowy figure nobody can identify. A person, or perhaps a group, who created something revolutionary and then vanished without a trace. If Satoshi's identity is revealed tomorrow, it would dominate headlines around the world. News organizations would rush to cover the story. Experts would analyze every detail. The internet would explode with discussion. For a while, it would be the biggest technology story on the planet. But eventually, the excitement would fade. The mystery would be gone. The unknown would become known. And perhaps something valuable would disappear along with it. Because sometimes mysteries become larger than the answers themselves. Sometimes the questions are more powerful than the truth. And few questions are bigger than this one. Who is Satoshi Nakamoto? A brilliant programmer? A cryptography expert? A financial visionary? A team of researchers working together? Someone hiding in plain sight? Or someone nobody has ever suspected? We may never know. But until the truth is revealed, the legend continues. A creator without a face. A billionaire without a public identity. A revolutionary without fame. A ghost of the digital age. And perhaps the most famous anonymous person in human history. So the next time you hear about Bitcoin, the next time you see headlines discussing cryptocurrency, Or the next time someone mentions Satoshi Nakamoto, remember this. Behind one of the most influential technologies ever created lies a mystery that remains unsolved. A mystery that has survived investigations, journalists, researchers, and some of the brightest minds on the internet. A mystery that continues to challenge everything we think we know about identity in the modern world. And somewhere, perhaps, the answer still exists. Hidden, waiting, silent. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next deep dive into the world's most fascinating mysteries. And before you go, tell me in the comments, who do you think Satoshi Nakamoto really is? Until next time, stay curious, because some mysteries are too fascinating to ever be forgotten.